Well, Morning Daybreak Show rolls on here, and on the phone line from Peninsula Credit Union, CEO Jim Morrell, also Kirk Smith here to talk about what the Peninsula Credit Union is doing now for its members, as this is a very uncertain time moving forward, especially financially. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, Jeff. Thanks for having us on this morning.
For sure. We did report yesterday that the Peninsula Credit Union will be moving to appointment and drive-through availability for its members across the Peninsula Credit Union network. Talk to me a little bit about how that decision came forth and what you're planning to do with those types of services.
We've been, of course, monitoring the situation and activating our pandemic plans for well over the last 2.5 weeks now. And so as we saw the virus spreading and more recently the guidance that's been provided by the state and federal and levels about social distancing and reduction of people in spaces out of an abundance of caution, we wanted to make sure that the health and safety of our members and our employees was protected as best we are able to, and that's why we made the not so easy decision to close our branch lobbies to routine business and move that business to our drive-up windows and make our lobbies available on a limited basis by appointment, so members can still be helped and served. And that can be arranged by calling our call center, 800-426-1601.
And at least with the downtown Shelton branch, I know there is, 2 or 3 drive-throughs and then a drive-up ATM. Is Peninsula, are you guys concerned about the increase in pressure that would put on you? And how do the other branches fare when it comes to drive-through service?
Yeah, I'll handle that and then ask Kirk to talk about what we've also been promoting in terms of other convenient ways for people to do their banking remotely. Certainly, if in Shelton, if Uracos can handle the volume of traffic through their drive-up window that they can with 4 lanes of drive-up accessibility, we're hopeful that would be sufficient. At all of our drive-up locations in Shelton, Belfair, and Port Orchard, we are increasing the staff that are running those drive-up windows and providing backup support staff to help assist them in those transactions. And then at our other branches up north in Paulsbo and Port Townsend, it's a modified walk-up, drive-up system that we're setting up because we don't have a drive-through in a car lanes, but we're going to work out as best we're able to handling transactions and, of course, the appointments like I mentioned. But for the last, Kirk, 7 to 9 days, we've been promoting remote services, and maybe you can speak to what those options look like.
Yeah, there are lots of banks and credit unions, and us included. We have a lot of different options that sometimes we take for granted or don't think about. And so this is just a perfect opportunity to remind people of the different alternatives that are out there. You can do a lot via your online banking platform, right? So you can go in there and you can do transfers and you can set up different payments through bill pay. You can do a lot of different types of transactions through online banking as well as the mobile banking. So the app, right? Download that. You can do some things. At Peninsula, we have deposit-taking ATMs so that you can, if somebody pays you in cash, you can make that deposit. You can put checks in the ATM as well. You can get cash back, etc. We also partner with the Co-op Financial Network, which they do shared branching, but they also have co-op ATMs. So you could use these ATMs all over the country. Hopefully you're not planning to travel too much, but if you're hearing this and stuck away from your home base, you could use an ATM that's not in your area but that still partners with us. Through that same partnership, we have they have an app called Sprig, S-P-R-I-G, and this is an app that you can snap a picture of your check and you can deposit it remotely from your phone. You won't have to come in to do that check either. You don't even have to go to an ATM. Like always, we've got telephone banking. You can call us. We can help you over the phone to do, some transactions that you need. The old-fashioned snail mail. You can write us a letter and tell us what you need us to do, and we can do that. And then we are updating we're enhancing our service to the night drop. So behind every branch, a lot of times they're back near the ATMs. There's a night drop that you can just drop things in. Normally, we do that just first thing in the morning. However, with this new strategy that we're doing with reducing our lobby traffic, we will be monitoring that night drop continuously throughout the day. So if you drop something in there, just make sure that it has your name, your account number on it, so that we'll make sure that we get it right to your account and what you want us to do. But we will be monitoring that throughout the day many times so that we can get that and process that transaction as quickly as possible for you.
So we're seeing a lot of folks being impacted by this, not only in the different industries, but also general day-to-day jobs are being curtailed on hours and things like that. It's going to have a huge economic impact. What is Peninsula Credit Union, and what are you hearing from other institutions around on the help being offered to your members when it comes to either payments or late fees and things like that, if their jobs have been cut in hours or even then down the unemployment route?
Yes. So, one of the things, none of us, of course, have been through this type of an event before, but sometimes life presents to us exercises in preparation for something like this, and sequestration and in Kitsap County, and how that impacted Kitsap and Mason, and the mill closures in Shelton a couple of years back really gave us things to think about. And the first answer to your question, Jeff, whether it is Peninsula Credit Union or any other financial institution that I cannot emphasize more, is please communicate. If you are impacted financially with your creditors, your bank or your credit union, it is really important. We know that personal finance is more personal than finance, but this is a time where people just need to realize, particularly at credit unions, and credit to my colleague Scott Pryor, the CEO of Connection Credit Union in Silverdale, after the sequestration was taking place in 2013. Just things to remember. We're here to work in your best interest. We know you. We all live here too. We want to help. We have a support network that's ready to help. We have many options available, and we need to talk with you to be able to understand your situation. So we have put in place a number of product offerings to help support people, emergency payday alternative loans, modifying loans to interest-only payments, allowing members that have paid ahead, which normally would advance their due date, or normally does not advance the next time a payment is due, but they're paid ahead, to bring that, to apply that credit towards their loan, releasing some of the secured funds for secured loans. We're also waiving certificate withdrawal penalties for early withdrawals, allowing online and phone payments, which normally have a fee to do that to cover the expense, but that is waived now, waiving refinancing fees. Here at Peninsula, our Visa credit cards have no fee cash advances, so that's an option. If people need new credit, we'll be establishing 90 days from the date of the advance as the first payment. So we have a number of different alternatives. And the key is, again, for us to hear from our members, or for any institution, bank or credit union, to hear from their customers or members, so that we are able to best align the ways that we can support with what your needs are.
Have you guys heard any issues, or is there any anticipation of a run on credit unions or a run on the banks for mass withdrawals? And I know that over the years, things have been put into place, FDIC insurance and the like, to avoid what happened back in the 1920s. But is there any concern? And if there is, what are you reminding your members about those types of things?
So we have seen here in our branches on the Olympic Peninsula some uptick in cash withdrawals. I think that is helpful for people's anxiety just to have a little bit of cash on hand. But I remind people that we're not in a situation where your debit cards will not work. We can, if you don't have a debit card, instant issue that to you, and normally that would be a branch activity, but we'll be supplying that as a drive-up activity, drive-through window activity now. Your money is safe and secure in the institution. The ATMs, like Kirk mentioned, you can withdraw funds there. When you need to go to the grocery store, you can get cash back from the point of sale. So there's a number of ways to obtain cash, but just reminding people that their balances are secure. Cash deliveries are still being made. Financial services are a critical service that is open even in San Francisco area counties where they have a curfew. Banks and credit unions are open and modified operations like we are to support the financial needs of the community members.
Jim Morrell and Kirk Smith from Peninsula Credit Union on with us here this morning, just talking a little bit about what's been going on financially in regards to this. And of course, guys, if there's further updates that you need to share with the listeners here, you always are able to call in and talk with us. Thanks for spending some time with me.
Thank you, guys. It was a true pleasure. If there's any other updates that we have, we post them on pcfcu.org/COVID-19. So we tried to make it as easy as possible, but we keep that site up to date with all up-to-date information as we have it. So check that out if you need more information.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.